Welcome back to Strip Buyers, and we are still working on the SciFi crate. We're adding edge loops. This is part 6, and so we're going to continue on. This is going to be our high poly model. Doesn't look like it now, but we are adding edge loops here to support those edges. We're trying to get. This is going to be a real problem right here to get that fixed. But I have ways around that. Right now, if we hit the 3 key, you can see that's really rounded, and I'm not really too happy with that. So I'm going to go back to click on that and hit the 1 key. So 1 is again just normal viewport, and 3 is a smooth shade. It's kind of a smoothing, a preview. Number 3 is like a smooth preview. It's not real, meaning that if you save your work and you try to render this, it won't actually render out properly. Now Arnold would, because it does have iterations in rendering, which is really powerful, but right now what we're going to do is we're going to work on one side and then mirror that over. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this issue and problem over here. You can see I kind of got the edge loop started, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue those edge loops and just kind of finalize everything up to this point, and then I'm going to break this in half, and we'll see if we can get this working out pretty good. So alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to continue adding edge loops, and it looks like I've gotten started on some of this stuff. So I'm going to start right here on the stuff we can actually add edge loops to. So hold down the shift key and right mouse button, go to insert edge loop, and we're just going to get as far as we can. So I'm going to go ahead and add edge loops here. Okay, I'm going to try to keep them all evenly spaced. You can see that this is, and do the best you can. Try to evenly space these. Okay, and so I'm going to do this side over here, and I'm just going to kind of double check and make sure that it's going all the way around. There we go. And so I'm just working on this corner right here. I'm going to go ahead and do this edge loop here. You can see we got some good spacing there, and then I'm going to go on the inside here of the corner and just click on this edge right here, and try to keep the spacing the same all the way around. Okay, I'm going to kind of move around like this over to this side over here, and we're going to get spacing, the same amount of spacing over here. Just kind of following that edge. Looks like I've already got that started. That's got an edge, that's got an edge, and then we'll do this one right here. And then I'm going to go over to the big one over here, the wider one, and do an edge loop here. Again, try to keep the same spacing. That's really essential to getting a really good smooth, or a sharper edge, I should say. Try to be consistent in everything that you do, whether it be, you want to be consistently good, of course. Let's see if we can get an edge loop across here. That looks good. Okay. And make sure that's going all the way around. And there are some areas that just cannot be, you can't put edge loops in because they break. And you can see right there is one of them. It's because this is a triangle. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the top. Okay, I'm going to select an edge right here, and you can see it goes so far. It does work right about there. Looks good, and it does go all the way over to here to that one. Okay, so that's good. It does that. Hit the Q key and click off somewhere. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to finish this up manually. So I'm going to hold the shift key down and the right mouse button and go to Multicut. Shift key, right mouse button, Multicut. and I'm going to cut. Basically, this is how the Multicut tool works. It's kind of fun. It'll snap, but I like to click off the edge, like right here, and I'm holding down the left mouse button as I'm doing this. Now, if you make a mistake, you can just hit the back key, which is the arrow going back by the plus key. If I hit the back key, it kind of puts me back where I was. So if you make a mistake, no big deal. What I like to do is click on the line that's close to that point I want to snap to, click on it, and hold the left mouse button down and snap it. You can see it snapping. Look at that, snapped, and then let go. And then I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this line right here with my left mouse button still pressed. I'm going to go ahead and let go. Okay, I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to click on the line and just kind of keep that evenly spaced. There we go. Okay, and then hit enter now. There we go. Great. Okay, let's hit the Q key. Alright, so let's go back into Insert Edge Loop tool. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to right click over the object and go to select. That should get you in selection mode. Okay, so now we're going to trick it, now that it thinks that's a quadrangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the shift key down, left mouse button, go into Insert Edge Loop tool. I'm going to click on Anyway right here. Okay, and you can see that when I let go, it will only go to the point on the other side and stop, because it's a triangle. Okay, we're going to use that to our benefit. So the only thing we need to do now, I'm going to hit the Q key for selection mode and click off anywhere. Just click anywhere. And you guessed it, I'm going to hold down the shift key, right mouse button click, and go to Multicut tool. So now I'm going to close this up, click anywhere on this line and snap it, anywhere on this line and snap it, and enter. Okay, so Multicut tool keeps working. Okay, and it works with edges, so you got to click on an edge. So if I want to continue cutting, I can click anywhere and hold the left mouse button and move it around. It's kind of cool, and you can snap it anywhere, and what it does is it welds itself to that vertex when you snap it. If you don't get right on there and snap it, it will actually create another vertex that's right next to it, and that can cause problems later. Okay, you can hit let's go ahead and go back, and you can hit the Q key anytime to get out of the tool. Okay, there you go. Alright, that's great. The only triangle we have here is this one, and we can't get rid of it. It just is no way. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to go across here, and it should let us go across. Okay, so let's give it a try. So select it, right? And we are now going to go and hold the shift key down, and we're going to go to Insert Edge Loop tool, and we should now be able to insert an edge all the way across, which is just wonderful. Okay, that's great. Now it will stop. It did go all the way across. That's good. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go look down here underneath these objects and see if everything's looking okay here. That looks good. Alright, and we need to do some work on that part, but that looks pretty good. I think I got everything underneath there. You can see I got edge loops here, here, and the only thing I don't have an edge loop is right here. Okay, now I don't know. In fact, I'm pretty sure that it won't let me do an edge loop here. I can try. Yeah, it won't. It will let me do it like right there. The minute I pull it over, let's see, what does it do on this side here? Yeah, it stops right there, which is fine, I think. I think that's okay. Alright, so there we go. And let's see if we go up a little higher. Okay. So the funny thing is, in doing that, it caused this object to have be a triangle. So you can see I've got our quadrangle, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 sides is triangle and 4 sides is quadrangle. So we've actually got a quadrangle here because it's 4-sided, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's great, but I have to do another one to the other side to get this to look right. So that will cause more problems up here. Let's see what we can do here. So if I click on this edge right here, move it kind of over a little bit, and you can see it's jutting, it's not stopping. Now that it's a quadrangle, it wants to follow along here. Okay, so you can see that can be a problem. So let's go Control. Let's just hit the backspace. Okay, so we can't do that. Let's go Control Z. Get rid of that one. All right, so we're going to do something else now. So to fix all this craziness, I'm going to have to click on Select, hit the Q key to get out of that mode. And we're pretty close. If you look at this and we go to Selection Mode, and if you hit the 3 key, we're really close now. You can see that it's really looking good on the corner there. Looking really good. Now, some people would be happy with this. But the thing is, I've got a nice edge right here, and then that's not really nice right here. So that it's one of those perfectionist things where you really want to do a good job and make sure, especially when you're modeling, to make sure that things are looking good. And if they're a little soft, people are kind of wondering, well, what kind of skills does he have or she have? And we really need to make sure that's fixed. So there's a trick that I've learned. Let's go ahead and go and click on face mode. Is that we're going to go ahead and pull this polygon in. But since we've been doing a lot of edge loops, okay, we've got a lot of history. Okay, if you look at all this history right on the side, that actually slows Maya down. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to go to object mode, and we're going to go ahead and delete the history, and that's up here. Remember, we can center pivot right here, delete history, and then freeze transformations. Well, we don't have any transformations. You can see over to the right hand side, these are the transforms. Okay, it's a channel box. So if we go back over here and we click on the object, you can see here, just kind of keep an eye on this part over here. That's the history. If I click on this guy, it gets rid of all the history, and that's kind of what you want to do now and again to get rid of that history. So I'm going to right click and go to face mode, click on that face right there. I'm going to do a Control E as an Egbert. I'm going to click one of the cubes here, which is kind of fun. One of the cubes here, just click on it, and you'll see a blue cube now shows up. Okay, that allows me to scale that in. Okay, and we're going to kind of give it that same distance here from here to here as we did on this side over here. So I've kind of forced that edge, haven't I? That edge. And so now what I'm going to do to finish this up is I'm going to go in here and do an edge down to here. Now let's take a look and see what else we can do here with this. Okay, so now that I've got that done, now let's hit the Q key, get rid of that tool. I'm going to hold the Shift key, right mouse button, and go into Edge Loop Tool again, and let's see what happens. Now it goes straight up into it. Okay, and it stops. I'm not sure what's happening with that, but I don't want that to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control Z back, okay, and hit the Q key and click in anywhere off. Okay, we don't want anything selected right now. Is I'm going to create an edge from here to here to here to here. Okay, and see if we can't get that fixed. So to do that, I'm going to go to selection mode. I'm going to go right click, hold down the Shift key and my right mouse button, and go to Multicut. And so I'm going to cut down like this. Now you have to be careful because you can see things happening in the background. There's too many there. So I'm going to go ahead and snap it and just pull, and if I get like some weird stuff going on in the background, you want to stop and go back, and it's good now. So I'm going to hit enter. Okay, we go and do the other side. Okay, and enter. There we go. And then we want to finish it up. Whoops. Okay, so that's good. Hit the Q key to finish it up. Alright, so now we're going to do an edge loop across here. So I'm going to go in here to right click over it and go to select, and now we're going to go into edge loop. Let's see if this edge loop tool will work now. Okay, that's not working. Control Z. So let's go below. It's okay. And let's do it right here. So there's the edge loop. Let's go below it. We could even do it right here probably. Okay, so I'm going to go right in there. Oh, that doesn't really work that well. Let's do it right here. Okay, so I'm going to do it right there and get that nice and even right through here. And I'm going to do it over here. Okay, just like that. Alright, cool. So now you can see that we've got a start of one up here all the way down. So I'm going to hit the Q key again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to now go in here and let's see here, I'm going to go and hold the shift key and go into Multicut, and I'm going to click on it, hold the left mouse button and snap it. Go down to the bottom, click on this, left mouse button and snap it. Now it's doing some weird stuff. You saw that, yeah, it's not really snapping right. Okay, so it found something in the back. You're going to find that to be kind of an issue. See that? That's not good. Alright, so just move around until it finds, and you have such a small area here. I'm going to hit the backspace. And I'm going to get a little bit closer. There, I found that edge. There it is. I found the edge. Perfect. There's the edge. So hit enter. There we go. Alright, and we'll do the next thing over here. This one over here, this edge over here. And let's get a little bit closer, just having a hard time snapping. There we go, and we'll snap to that one, and enter. Okay, great. And that is that. So when I smooth it, hit the smoothing 3 key, look at that. Perfect. It looks fantastic. That corner looks great. Alright, so that's how we fix the corners. I know that's a lot of work, but you can watch this. Make sure you pause and watch me do it. And we'll see you in the next video, part 7.